Made 3 passes. No freaking GPS. So I guess I'm just gonna have to old school and use these markers, or else we're not gonna get anything done. This is ridiculous. Or he needs to call somebody because out of my hands, out of his hands, something's wrong. It's either a connection between the modem and this guy up here, or just this field hates me. So I don't know.
Kelly's over there trying to get the feel for the planter again. We didn't pick a nice farm for her to get started out on. This is one of the hardest farms to plant. Got a bunch of small, rough fields right here on the front side. But I know she's had some issues with GPS this morning. Went over there trying to figure it out. And I don't know, it just kept on losing satellite signals. I really couldn't figure out why. For whatever reason, our receivers aren't picking up the normal number of satellites that we should when we're out here in the open like this. Another thing about Carter, he can sure load a truck pretty full without spilling any off the side. Another very critical aspect of being a grain buggy driver. All right, I know the burning question on all your minds. Well, how's it yielding? It's okay. At least this first farm is not quite what I expected. We got some really great spots out here, and we got some that's just not quite so good. Here we are, mid-70s in this spot, but we get a little bit up here. I bet it goes up to around 100. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's doing a lot like it did last year. You know, last year I kind of determined that it was a issue with nitrogen on the wheat crop. Not, you know, we didn't have enough nitrogen on some parts of it, but this year we upped our nitrogen management. We put out more nitrogen on the front end. I told my wheat scout when he was writing prescriptions for the second pass, you know, I wanted to shoot for maximum yield. We put out a healthy prescription in March, and I don't know, the weather this spring is just, it's been funky. It's either been extremely wet or extremely dry. Really no in between, no moderation. It's either been really cool or really hot. It's been very few moderate days, and I thought the weather was pretty decent for wheat, especially, you know, the cool stretch we had in May during grain fill. But I don't know if it got a little too dry on the wheat during some aspects, and then once it got wet, you know, it stayed cloudy for a while during grain fill. So I don't know, but anyway, yeah, you know, it's still way early in wheat harvest, so this is just the first farm. We still got a lot of good ground to go, and hopefully yields pick up. But so far, based on the early results, it looking like a repeat of last year. Not bad yields by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, we're always pushing the bar, you know, trying to get better, make better yields than what we did the year before. And I don't know, not looking like it so far. Maybe this variety we've been saving for years, maybe it's just gotten old. Maybe it's time to start ordering some new certified seed, try out a new variety. Even though last year we did have one new variety on one farm supposed to be a top yielder, and it didn't compare with you know, what I'd been saving. That's why I kept on saving seed last year. Here at 94, 96, 97 bushels an acre here. Great. Just got too many lower yielding areas that's really dragging that average down. Some of it's definitely water damage, but in other areas of the field, it just didn't till her out like it should have on areas of the field where it should be good and thick.
I'm not mad. I have no GPS on my tractor, so I can't plant. So Matt is sitting there waiting for someone to call back. So I cut some wheat because it's just sitting here. Carter's in the buggy, and I figured, why not, right? I'm a woman of multitask. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this stuff and see what's up. Okay, auto, yeah, I said engage it. What is it doing? Oh God, is it GPS doesn't like me? Why isn't anything engaging? Why? I think the GPS hates me. Alright, come on, Matt, so all you gotta do is double tap this bottom. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's see if it works. I think Carter's gonna cut here in a little bit if Matt can't figure this stuff out, because I don't know what's going on. I start the tractor, I can do like 4 or 5 passes, and then all of a sudden I have nothing. No GPS, and if I want to plan it right, I'm gonna have to have GPS. So he's sitting in the tractor and waiting for someone to call him back. So I figure I might as well do this.
We just got our first full truckload of the day. Carter said we're sitting around 64,000 even, actually, and I'm headed back to the grain bin. I don't know who was talking right there. Woo! It's definitely heavy. It's pushing my front tires in. So we're gonna see if we can't get this unloaded now. All right, we're on pavement. Let's see if we can get it. Woo! She don't like me. Our short little 400-yard drive here. We have made it to back to the shop. Alright, now we can say we have made it to the pit. Dumping our first load of the day. Not the first load, we had one load yesterday. First load of the day. I still need to pull up just a hair more, but I'm ready to turn this auger on and see what she'll do. But our paddles that we replaced sure are doing a good job. I mean, I can just open this pretty much all the way, and our amps right here, they're going up, but they're staying right below 40, and that is what we want. That's perfect. I can mount it up right here. I need to close that up bit because the concrete, but don't worry, I'll sweep all that off here in a second.
Okay. There he is. Mother and son team. What are you doing, Carter? Come on. I don't go as fast as Dad. Haven't heard anything on Matt yet, so I guess he's still sitting over there. Poor guy. We just wanted one good day. Yield-wise, anywhere from 65 to 90. We're in the big top field too, so I guess that's good. Maybe Matt can get somebody to answer. It is Friday. I know people have started around here, so either he's going to get an answer or we're not going to be able to plant beans today. And that would suck because then that leaves a lot for me to do. And I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck out here by myself if I have problems like that again. So maybe he can get it figured out. I don't know. Well, it looks like I'm either getting kicked out or he has figured out what is wrong because he just called me on the radio and told me to come over to the truck where Carter and Andy are. So I don't know if he's figured it out or we're screwed for the day. So I guess we're gonna find out. I was really looking forward to planting today. It's a beautiful day. I know this field very well, so planted it numerous times, and I thought I'll get ahead of myself, and so far, not yet. And he keeps climbing on the top of the tractor, so I don't know what's going on. But I guess we're gonna figure this out. Well, 3 hours later, I went and got a new receiver, and guess what? Still no signal, so I have no idea what to do anymore. I'm to the point where we need a tech to come out here because he can't figure it out, and now I'm sitting at hour, no, 4 of doing absolutely nothing. I have no idea what's going on. I went and got a new receiver. We plugged everything back in. Matt reset everything. I got around the field in 10 minutes and I have no signal again. So I don't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He's frustrated. I mean, really frustrated at me, but there's nothing I can do. So technology can be great, but it can also be absolutely awful. And right now it's awful. So I'm gonna sit here for a minute, start the tractor back up, and see if it works for another 10 minutes. And if I have to stop every 10 minutes to turn off the tractor and make it start again, then I guess that's what I have to do. It's going to be a very, very, very long day.
I think that's 4 loads he's hauled off so far. Just go down there and block the road, keep traffic from coming down so I can get down to the field, and then when I pull in the field, you can come back up here and grab the header trailer and come back down there, and when I get done with it, we'll take the header off and head on over to Ellington.
Alright, yeah, 10-4, I can do that.
Oh man, it's been a crappy day. Not with the grain harvest side, but with the planting side. We've had bad GPS issues. Finally determined, I think the receiver went out and it wasn't giving any kind of correction, no RTK. Heck, it wouldn't even do WAS to be able to plan or do auto steer. So we got a new receiver on there, and for whatever reason the RTK is now not hooking up to it, but we got WAS anyway, so we can plant. Just not going to be as accurate as I like to be, but it's soybeans and accuracy is not near as important. So Kelly's planting, try and get these problems done at some point. All clear, Andy?
I'm sending 2 cars that I just mapped down and then you're clear. There's a white Traverse and a black Infinity coming your way.
10-4. All right, wait for these 2 cars to come by and then try and get down the road.
And after those 2, I'm in the middle of the road and nobody else is coming their way.
All right, here we go. Problem is, up here where we top this hill, the header will barely fit in between both sides of the ditch to even get through there. So there is literally no place to pull off and let anybody by. And there's also no room to pull into this little tiny field and hook a header up. So kind of why it's got to stay on going down the road here. Everybody wave at Kelly. Oh, there was a bump there.
All right. We swapped over to a different GPS because that is not working. I am acres and acres behind. They are almost done. As you can see, Matt is moving right now. And he's blocking traffic down the road because this is a very small, narrow road and we don't want to take the header off. Yes, he's wearing a seatbelt, and this is the safest way to do it. There he goes. Carter's unloading, and then he's gonna go follow him.
That's where it gets really narrow. Let's tilt up over this mailbox here. And we made it.
Well, that wasn't planned, but I guess when I was dumping it in that last time I was dumping, I don't know if I locked the latch or not, but Carter was dumping in it, and I guess when the grain hit the gate, it slightly opened it just a hair.
While he was filling me up, we were building up a little mound like this under the trailer, so luckily we have a loader tractor instead of 5-gallon buckets, and we're just gonna scoop it into the bucket and dump it back into the truck, so.
Yay, oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but it is what it is now. I just gotta clean it up.
Yup. Back out here again. Because I don't have a tractor that works right now. So now I'm out here. Ha! Great first day.
All right, think finally got my GPS problem solved. Huge thanks to Jason Moore there at H&R for coming out here. But originally Kelly went to H&R and got another 372 receiver, which is what we're running, unlocked for RTK, put it on there. My old receiver wouldn't even pick up WAS, let alone connect to RTK. Hooked the new receiver up there. It connected to WAS, but didn't connect to RTK. Anyway, Jason finally had it open, come out there, and anyway, had to update software. I think he changed the wiring harness out and stuff to do away with the Bluetooth modem, and anyway, it's back up and running. He's going to test out my old receiver, see if he can get it working. If not, it's going to have to be sent off and be repaired, but he said we can just run this receiver until my old one gets back from repaired if it needs it. So huge shout out to Jason, man. I appreciate your help. I know you and every other person had to do with diagnosing and fixing problems is about run ragged by this point in the year, but thanks for coming out late on a Friday and getting me taken care of. So how many bushels will we get off my mom's farm?
We've got about 4,880 bushels right now, and if that's close enough to the number of the truck out, I think we're good right now.
Yeah, my yield mark is pretty close there. It comes out to somewhere ballpark of 80 bushels an acre. A little less than what I was expecting, but at least it's out of the field. Not going to be hammered by this rain coming up.
That is very true. It's not going to get much drier than this. Speaking of moisture, what has your moisture been running around?
Been averaging around 16% or so. Some places out here, good dry, and then you got some green spots. I think we got enough, we should have enough grain in that grain bin. You can go ahead and cut those fans on whenever you get back with this load.
Alright, it turns good. I can do that.
Now, like I said, a little disappointing on the yield on that first farm. You know, I was expecting it to average around 85, hoping for a little bit more, but no, yield's not bad, not great, but not bad. But I tell you what, the grain that we do have out here is some heavy grain. I was hearing Carter read off the weights to Andy when he unloaded, and get like 63,000 pounds on the truck, whereas normally around 60 to 61,000 pounds is a really full load. So might not have the volume, but the volume that we do have out here is really heavy. Really expecting a high test weight on this, and that's what happens when you get wheat out before it gets rained on. After this rain comes through, I fully expect that test weight and the weights that we can get in the truck to decrease by some. By how much? Well, it depends on how much rain we get and how long it stays wet. Unfortunately, the way the grain sales work, if you have exceptional quality grain, you don't necessarily get compensated for it. So you kind of got a base grade on each of the crops that if you meet that base grade, you get paid, full price, whatever you contracted at. But if you go above that base grade, they don't pay you any extra per bushel. It's one of the big benefits to the cotton industry is that if you make exceptional quality above a base grade, you get compensated, so many cents per pound, just depending on what the grade is. The grain, it just doesn't work that way. But if you don't meet that base grade, they have no problem taking money away from you. And how much they take away just depends on what's wrong with it. They'll dock you for low test weight, they'll dock you for high moisture, they'll dock you if there's any kind of damage, if the grain is split or cracked too much. If it's sprouting, they'll really hammer you, which is kind of what we're concerned about with wheat. You get a lot of rain and it stays damp for a while, that wheat will swell and start trying to germinate. And once it sprouts, your grain quality just goes through the toilet and they hammer you on price. So that's one reason we're really trying to get as much of this wheat out as we can before the rain, even though it can really use another couple days of drying, because we can dry it down in our bin. If it starts sprouting, we can't take those sprouts away inside our bin.
I said, you didn't put enough on here. You might want to put some more. Some sarcasm.
Well, I'll sure be happy to try it. Meet me down here at the other end. Carter sure doesn't complain when I load him up.
Carter doesn't own the equipment.
He sure wouldn't be driving that slow either.
Turtles win the race.
Only in fairy tales.
Oh, well, look at this happy fairy tale. Guess what? I'm driving slow. After the day we've had, this is as fast as I'm going.
Yeah, you do have a tendency to tear stuff up today, don't you?
Do you want to sleep in your combine? Because you're about to. If I'm correct, you tore it up because I hadn't even been able to use it yet, and it's been broke since this morning. So actually, who broke what? That would have been the last person who planted.
It was working perfectly fine when I got out of the tractor, and I got the video evidence to prove it.
I got the video evidence to prove it the minute I got in it. It wasn't working.
I think the operator might need some more training.
Oh, I'm sorry. The operator's only a half employee, so therefore she's only going to do what a half employee gets paid to do.
If you quit tearing the planter up, you might be upgraded to whole employee status.
Did you say whole employment status?
I know I got a problem with stuttering, but I don't think I stuttered that time.
Whole employment status. You go see whole employment status real quick. It means this hoe gonna get off this tractor and walk home. Oh wait, no, I have my car. Goodbye.
Were you already quitting just like you did last week, Harvest?
Yeah, first day. Goodbye. See ya.
I'm back to where I started. So Andy is now on the grain buggy with Matt, and he told me to come back here and start planting again because after this lovely 8-hour, 9-hour ordeal, she is supposedly fixed. So, gonna fire up and see where we go. I'm really hoping and praying that this is going to work because it's probably a very expensive service call, and said he had GPS for 5 to 7 minutes, so let's see. Oh, and another news. It's really pretty. Probably will be a bright orange.
I know y'all probably can't see it, but we're having a deer and a coyote having a stare off over here. Coyote had a fresh rabbit in his mouth that he chased here out of the field. I guess Bambi doesn't approve of his meat choices, probably trying to convince him to go vegetarian. Well, last little field of the day, man, we rolled today. I mean, we've been smoking some wheat. We get done with this little patch here, we will have gotten through about 80 acres of wheat. Tell you what, when it's all standing up like this machine will flat go through some wheat. You know, been doing about 4 miles an hour all day long. When you have real good wheat, and then you have some of our West Tennessee storms that come through in the spring, it can blow down spots in the field. Then you got to slow real down, drop your header all the way on the ground to scrape it up. You got all that extra material to run through the combine, taking power and fuel, increasing grain losses. But this year, I mean, there's only been a couple really small spots. And this farm's been hit or miss too. Now this farm got a lot of tree lines, and it's kind of thin and not yielding great around the edges. You get out in the middle of the field and it's doing 90 plus easily, but a lot of tree edges is dragging down this average. I think probably going to be somewhere around that 77, 78 bushels an acre. Kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. I think we're going to be in some better wheat tomorrow. So far, this combine has been performing flawlessly. All that work we done on it this winter paid off. I mean, she's just been humming along. And those spiked rash bars that we put on the back half of the rotor, instead of going back with the normal rash bars, man, those things is a ticket. I think they really helped on my rotor losses, able to run more material through the rotor without increasing my losses. It really helped grind up that straw a little bit more, you know, really chewed it up. You know, between those spike rash bars and the chopper back there, it's grinding up the straw about as good as it does if this straw was like a week older, a week drier, and a week more brittle. I've been really impressed with them. Anyway, we're gonna finish up this little patch and then drop the header, carry the combine back to the shop, get her blown off for the day, ready to service tomorrow. Then I'm gonna go check on Kelly. She turned the grain buggy over to Andy on this last load and went back to planting. So hopefully she's about got that first farm finished up, and we can spray it first thing in the morning while we're waiting on the dew to dry.
Look at all the Skittles! Lots of red ones, unfortunately, because I'm planting into cement. It is so dry out here. I'm also miserable from all this freaking wheat. But you know, job's gotta get done. So I've got like 3 passes left on this field, and then I have on the other side of the silt basin, and then I gotta go down the street and that little one. So hopefully I can get that done before Matt thinks he's gonna swap out with me, because I think I'm gonna get done before he has to swap out. So it is 9:10. I do like all the pretty lights though, so I've been playing some 90s house music, because if anything will keep you awake, it is 90s house music. Yeah, I'm starving. I ate at 3 o'clock today, so, and that was my lunch. I guess it was also my dinner, so I don't know. We'll figure it out, but so far everything's planting.